Welcome to another episode of Interviewing the Legends with Ray Shasho.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Jay Aston, the driving force behind the indomitable, critically acclaimed rock outfit Jay Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel, has once again summoned the essence of the group's iconic sound with their latest studio album, Love, Death, Sorrow, released across all formats back in December 1st. The album represents a culmination of the band's collective artistry, with the steadfast collaboration of esteemed guitarist James Stevenson, renowned for his work with The Alarm, Gen X, and The Cult, and seasoned bassist Peter Rizzo, along with the return of acclaimed producer Peter Walsh, known for his instrumental role in crafting the band's classics 80s album. Love, Death, Sorrow delivers a compelling blend of original compositions and captivating cover songs. This latest offering stands as a testament to the band's enduring legacy and serves as one of the band's most formidable additions to their extensive discography. But that's not all. Jay Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel is thrilled to reveal a major tour announcement. They will be embarking on a cross-country U.S. tour alongside The Alarm and Bet Louis Sum, set to kick off in May. This highly anticipated tour promises to be a must-see event for fans of both bands, offering a unique opportunity to experience their electrifying live performances in venues across the nation. Please welcome legendary singer, songwriter, guitarist for British rock band Gene Loves Jezebel, Jay Aston, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Ray.
I'm going to tell you, man, the album, which came out in December, I love it. It's a great album.
Much. It's been it's amazing with all so far. I'm sure someone will slag it off, but everyone's really been so amazing reviews for it. People and the fans, the oldest fans, really love it too. So it's been so gratifying that the work we put into it's paid off. You know, it's wonderful.
Well, here's my review. You ready for it?
Yeah.
I said, Love, Death, Sorrow is the best album to date by Jay Aston and Brit rock legends Gene Loves Jezebel. Passionate songwriting blended with covers that have creatively surpassed the originals musically.
Oh, thank you so much.
A celebratory return since 2017's Dance Underwater. 5 stars.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow, thank you.
I love what you did with the covers, man. I mean,
oh yeah. It was Cleopatra. They suggested it. We never do covers, and it was just one of. I think we just got lucky. I just picked some out of the air, and everyone agreed, and we did them for whatever reasons. And we kind of went, let's try and do it this way, as opposed to the original. But the Cure cover, for instance, we thought, why bother trying to? The Cure have done it brilliantly as they do. Let's do it completely differently. Let's take something else from the song, the more melancholic feel for it, and. We approached them all like that, really, and I think we just got lucky because the album just, for some reason, all fits together really well, and you can't plan that. You know, you can hope for that, but you can't.
Right.
You don't know how it's going to come out, and we're amazed how well it's almost a cohesive album. I think it just sits together really well.
It does. It really does. I'm going to go over some of the tracks on the album that I particularly like. First of all, it starts out with The Man That Time Forgot, which is a very cool intro. That's a favorite with the gothic elements in that tune. Love that song.
Oh, thank you.
My very favorites are probably all the next, but The Light Pours Out of Me. Wow.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's very kind of 60s. You know, I love the simplicity of the guitar. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Ventures. You know how the Ventures?
Absolutely. I love stuff like that. The Ventures, all the shadows over here, you know.
Exactly.
Sort of, surf rock and all those things. I love. I'm a Fender kind of guy. So, single call, you know.
Fender.
Hey, there you go. They should give us free guitars. Well,
is that a Strat? Is that a Strat?
This is a Strat, yeah, 73. It's a reissue.
73, really?
It's a reissue. I couldn't afford a real 73.
I had a 73 Telly. I sold it.
Wow. You know, the tellies are just so consistent, though. You know, you can buy them from any era, and they're just fantastic, in my opinion. I love Telecasters. Yeah,
the best investment you can make today are guitars. You know that?
Just yeah, they're the best for your soul. You know, doesn't matter if you're going to strum a couple of chords; they're just so rewarding. You know, people just don't understand. They're so rewarding. You know, just enjoy them, just have fun with them, because you're never alone with a guitar.
Now, here's the big question: how many do you have?
Not that many compared to people my age. You know,
yeah,
I'm in my late 40s now. But no, I've probably got nine or 10, not many.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm not saying, but James Stevenson has probably got hundreds. You know what I mean? The main guitar player in the band.
Right.
And most of my friends have so many. But I just need the Strat, Telly, Les Paul Junior. I probably need to get somewhere along the line to get you know, I think I'm pretty happy with what I've got, really. You know, I'd like to get a semi. A 335 would be nice somewhere down the line, but for the moment, I'm happy with what I've got. You know, so
I had on the show not long ago Paul Reed Smith, PRS Guitars. You know, they're number 3.
I've never played.
Yeah.
Have you got one of his guitars?
I don't. I was hoping he'd send me one.
Give you one.
It didn't happen.
I've heard they're great, but I just don't like the way they look. You know, they're a bit too. I'm old school. You know, they're a bit too. They look like they've been dipped in honey. You know, and the bright colors. They're a bit loud for my taste, really.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, they tell me that they're great guitars, but I'll have to try one of these days.
Well, like you, I'm a Fender guy, man. I've always loved Fender since the very beginning, and you know, the Fender I had was autographed by like Johnny Winter, John Kay from Steppenwolf.
Oh wow!
Oh man, Alvin Lee from 10 Years After.
Wow, what an underrated band Steppenwolf were.
I know.
A great band, you know, so underrated. That band, I don't know. Unfortunately, they split up so fairly early in their career, because if you listen to their live album, they just blend together so well. You know, they're such a great band. Really were, you know, great name as well.
Yeah, John Kay sold his whole you know, his music. I can't think of the word right now. His repertoire, I guess. Yeah, he sold it all, and he sold it a long time ago, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
He's really into he goes to Africa a lot, and he's really into animal conservation, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Really, really nice guy.
He's a great singer. Yeah, definitely original. Yeah.
Yeah,
still
for sure.
Still the best version of Born to Be Wild is still his.
Oh yeah.
You know, many have tried, but
yeah, exactly.
You get there. Yeah.
Well, The Light Pours Out of Me, that's a magazine cover, right?
Yes, I've always loved John McGeoch. What a great guitar player, you know. Yeah. And I just like that. Punk was very exciting, you know. It was very liberating.
Yep.
But I liked what followed, you know, with the television and all those bands that came after it, Talking Heads, and in England, obviously, we had Wire, Susan the Banshees developed into something else when McGeoch joined them. So that was a really interesting period of magazine and all those bands. So, yeah, things exploded, got very musical very quickly, which was great.
That was a good era.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I was in broadcasting school back in '78, and I became a top 40 DJ back in late '70s and early '80s.
Wow. Exciting times. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember, you know, band like Ian Dury and the Blockheads.
Absolutely.
The Dead Kennedys. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
The Stranglers. Yeah.
So many. They were a great band. Yeah, absolutely.
That was a good era. Really good era.
Phenomenal era. Yeah.
You guys are very eclectic. You can't really pinpoint your exact sound, right?
I think we've all got different tastes, really, which comes together within the band, creates whatever we sound like. You know, I got a lot of favorite singers, but I don't sound like any of them. You know,
right?
I think my favorite singers made me want to discover my own voice, and I've always been able to sing from a very young age. I knew I could sing, so. You know that, but I've never. I mean, I love people like Steve Marriott and people like that were my favorite singers.
Oh yeah.
But I've never copied them. You know, I've never tried to. Not that I probably couldn't, but and or anyone like Leonard Cohen, anyone with their own voice is what you're looking for really with a singer. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to be Adele, go from have a massive range.
Right.
It's just about personality. I mean, Lou Reed at his best is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I think Bob Dylan.
Bob, anyone's ever written a lyric, Bob Dylan, you know, what a great sense of melody he has.
Yeah.
And of course, we all love the revolution that he created when he picked up a Stratocaster, but you still can't beat him with just an acoustic guitar. That's phenomenal, that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you try writing Blow in the Wind with those two chords.
Exactly.
Or, you know, the times are changing. You try writing that. Same with John Fogerty, you know, you try writing. You know, I'll give you A, D, and G. You try writing Bad Moon Rising. You know, it's like, that's talent. Neil Young, that's talent, you know? Yeah. Great talent.
I love your voice, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
And, you know, it's cool. You know, music journalists always tend, and I'm guilty of this too, this track sounds like this band, and this track sounds like this
they're
band,
always trying to get to the...
But, yeah, they always do that, you know. This song reminds me of this, but this album really, you know, I can't pinpoint anybody that it really sounds like. So you really got your own sound. Really. Yeah.
That's what for us has always been the goal, not to sound like anybody else. Yeah. And I think a lot of the bands from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, we all wanted to have our own sound and write our own songs. And I think what happened in the 90s and beyond is when everything became cloned, you know.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
my opinion.
It did.
I mean, the B-52 sound nothing like Television.
No.
Or, you know, Sex Pistols sound nothing like the Clash, etc., etc. Buzzcocks sound nothing like, you know, any other band you could mention. Every band had its own thing. Mm-hmm. And we came from that school where, you know, it's your own voice, unique voice is very important. Your own language, how you color things, how you look at things, and they're all valid. There's no one better than anyone else, but it's important just to have your own voice, I think.
What was the competition like back then? I mean, were you guys at each other's throats? Were you friends with other bands?
Bands are very competitive, you know. Yeah. No, it's very competitive. We weren't friends. I wouldn't say any bands particularly friends. We became, as we got older, probably when we hit our 30s, bands, we started getting friendly, much more friendly, and realizing that we're all, well, anyone with an open with an open mind can see that we're all human beings and we're all doing our best. You know what I mean? Sure. Everyone's trying to be happy. So generally these days, I mean, if I see someone in their 50s or 60s who's still an arrogant asshole, you know, I think grow up. Exactly. You know?
There's no
I'll never understand. Yeah, Dave Lee Roth. I mean, Dave, you know, you're funny, la la la, but you ain't a singer. You never were really. So the fact he's out there pretending he's this, you know, I put everything into my performance, man, all this bullshit. You know, it's like you're going, man, you haven't been able to sing for many, many decades. Exactly. You should have given up a long, long time ago. Yeah. But that's just my opinion. But, you know, I prefer people who are just down to earth, I guess. I'm not, I mean, to be on stage is very theatrical. It's larger than life, but it is that stage, save it for the stage, not for backstage, you know.
I wonder how Lou Reed would have been now on an interview, because he wasn't a very good interviewer, you know.
He was an arsehole. I met him once. Yeah. He's not friendly at all.
No.
No. But that speaks to, he was obviously a very unhappy person. That's all I can say about that, you know.
I've been lucky. I've done almost about 600 interviews or so, and I have not had a bad one. Nobody was a jerk. Everybody was really nice, cooperative, and that's probably because they got older, like you said.
Yeah, well, just it's musician's life. It's fun. People see it as, oh, I wish I could be. It's actually a lot of hard work, as you know.
It is.
It's exhausting. This tour we're doing is going to be for a couple of months, 2.5 months. Since that's exhausting, especially you know, as the singer. You got to do all those vocals, and you've also, you know, got to do lots of interviews. And these days you have to do lots of meet and greets.
Yep, that's
because, right. The record industry is dead, as such. So the only way you can earn money is by, you know, elaborating a lot. But back in the 80s or the 90s, you could just go on stage, play, and that was it.
Yeah.
Most of your interviews were done way before the tours happened, and but nowadays it's a lot lot of output, you know.
It is.
But,
It's a different
it's
world.
fun. It's fun to meet people, etc.
Yeah.
And you do make a lot of friends. People who
Yeah.
are fans become your friends.
Exactly.
It's quite a journey, really.
I covered John Mayall back when he turned 80.
Oh,
And
wow.
he got up there, he set up his own equipment. He did autographs before the show of his new CD.
Wow.
After the show, he did the same thing. He took down his equipment. I mean,
it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. He was 80 years old too, you know.
There's that humility there. That's beautiful, because his gift is on the stage when he gets up and performs. And obviously, he brought us a lot of great musicians, didn't he? Mick Taylor, obviously, Peter Green, Clapton. So many amazing musicians came through him.
Yeah.
And for his passion for music, and it's still there. And yet, yeah, I've seen that with people I've looked up to, you know, and you just see them tearing down their own gear, and it's like, wow.
That's pretty cool.
You know, because the kid in you sees them as an idol on the back of the album sleeve or whatever, doesn't it? So, but I'm impressed by that.
Yeah, me too. I am too. Yeah. You brought back a song that I really never paid any attention to, but now I am. That's Broken English, the Marian Faithfull cover from '79. Boy, did you guys do a great job with that song. I mean, it blew the original away, of course.
Well, I always liked the original. I could see it was badly recorded. I have no doubt there was a lot of substance abuse back in the studio when they were doing that song. I think about 8 of them. It took about 8 people to write it, so that tells you something was going on. But I just knew, you know, with Peter Walsh, with James and Pete, you know, Pete's such a phenomenal bass player.
Yeah.
Smiley's such a groovy drummer. I thought this is a song we could do justice to, you know. And yeah, so I'm really pleased with the way that turned out, definitely. Yeah, and it just fits the times we're in, you know.
It does.
Yeah.
Really the only complaint I have about that song, I could have listened to another 10 minutes on that song. You know, if you extended it, I would have loved it.
Oh well, you know,
maybe on stage.
For that.
Yeah, maybe on stage.
Yeah, we've had such reaction. All the songs have had that kind of reaction. Somebody said, "Oh, that's the best one ever."
It's great.
And so, but for me, it's a weird album. I haven't listened to it at all. We did it, and then I like to step away, you know.
Right.
Let them mix it. I didn't do any of the track listing. I said, you can, you know, do whatever you want to do. Do what you want to do. And it's until I had to learn some songs when we did some gigs just before Christmas.
Right.
Because the album came out December.
Right.
And that's when I was like, then I sort of, okay, I put the album on. I thought, God, this album sits really well. Because James and I would be telling me how great the album is. And James Stevenson, the guitar player, and they're all raving about it. And I sat back and I was in the bath with candles, you know, incense. And I was like, oh, wow, this sounds really good. You know, it's like it just flows so well. And so I was really pleased with it. Yeah. I mean, my favorite, well, I don't have a favorite. Breathe Easy is a song I love. I'm glad we did, because and that was Peter Walsh and I think James. They picked up, because I usually have lots of songs, and that's one they just said they really loved it. Same as the last album, I say which ones should we do, and I play some songs, and we usually pick them. This album's slightly different. Peter Rizzo and I had written a few, so that was slightly different for this album. But yeah, it was a great experience. Really, it went so smoothly.
What I understand was Breathe Easy shelved for many years, and then you brought it back, or
it was something I want to do for my solo work. You know, I intended to do a solo album. This was just Cleopatra. I went in and they said to me, "Oh, Jay, do you want some demo time? You know, go to the studio, and if you like what you do and we like what we do, we release it." But my solo stuff is just me and a guitar, really, and it has to be captured. And it's the hardest thing to do. You literally put a microphone there, microphone on the guitar, play the song, and you have to have a performance in one take. And hopefully that'll be it. But it's quite a difficult thing to capture. And that was one of those songs, you know, I knew it needed cellos and all the extras. And but I knew Peter Walsh, because he's worked with, you know, so many great artists, you know, Peter Gabriel and Simple Minds and all these bands, and Scott Walker. So he understands strings and he's very musical. I knew the fact he'd honed on it and asked me to do it. I thought, oh well, he's going to do a great job, and he did. Yeah. You know, I thought, how are we going to replay the demo? How are you going to make it better than that? But we totally did.
A great
But yeah,
song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Songs mean things to people, but to me too, because the songs I write are always about real people and real situations. So whenever that song comes on, I know exactly where I was when those things were affecting me when I wrote that song. So yeah, I'm really pleased the way that turned out.
That's what music does. It's a
Yeah,
timeline of your life. It really is.
incredible. It's the only thing that no matter what your politics or what's bothering you,
Yep.
it's just it puts us all on the same plane. It's
Hmm.
a beautiful thing at its best, you know. It's
Yeah.
just very so unifying, so powerful. Yeah,
Yeah. We don't go back to politics and say, where were
it
you
doesn't.
when
Yeah,
Ronald Reagan passed this bill? You
it didn't
know?
matter.
Oh.
You had a song can come on and your heart can go, ah, boom, you know.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It is
It's
amazing.
immediately back in that place, you know.
Yeah. It's
It's,
awesome.
it's like, yeah,
A Girl Like You. Wow, you guys nailed that. Edwin Collins cover from Orange Juice. Oh my
yeah.
God.
He's very talented, Edwin. Good songwriter. But yeah, that was one of the songs that James knows the guitar player on who played on the original. So
Yeah,
he's got the effects unit the guitar
right.
player used, and so he's always said about us doing that. That was the most fun. I think it's been better recorded than the original. I think
It
because Peter
has,
Walsh is
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, but if that was the only one for me, I literally press record. I just sang it. That's the only one that felt like a cover for me. But people really like it. But for me, it was the only one we did faithfully to the record. Really,
Hmm.
I've added a couple of my own little things, and so has James and Pete. But yeah, people have great reaction to that, which has been great. But it's the only one which was like, okay, Jay, we're going to sing this 1, 2, 3, 4. The other songs moved in different directions as we got
Right.
close to the recording. We changed some things, you know. But that one is like, this is how it goes: 1, 2, 3, 4, off we go, and that was the song.
In Between Days, the way you guys did that one. You made a softer version of that, and I love it. I love the way you,
Well, that was a terrifying one to do because the queue was so big
yeah.
that we thought, oh god, their fans are going to crucify us if we don't do a good job on this. So we originally were going to do Boys Don't Cry.
Hmm.
That was the original choice, but we thought it sounded too close to the Only One song. As we
Right.
played them together, they sound very similar songs.
Hmm.
So then I chose, you could have chosen any number of their songs really, but I went for that one. And it was one of those songs I just grabbed the acoustic guitar, let's try it like this. And,
Love it.
and it was it was the first song I listened to on the album because when they were mixing, I said, you better mix that one first because that's my least one I'm least confident about because it's I'm singing in the moment, you know, you just don't know, and you're very vulnerable and you're
Right.
thinking, oh shit. But as soon as I heard the mix back, I was like, oh, I knew the rest of the album was going to be fine. That was the one song that was worrying me, and it even sounded even without the strings and cellos we added, you know, or Peter Walsh added, Kate, his wife added the cellos. It sounded great, just raw, you know. So I was really pleased with that.
Well, was there a violin on that also? A little violin, or was it?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a cello,
a
violin.
nice
Yeah, I mean,
touch.
yeah. It's funny. It sounds great just with guitar. You know, yesterday I thought so. It sounds great, but but you add that other stuff, and it was the same as Breathe Easy. It kind
Yeah.
of mixed well with that song, and you know, and the Only One song too. They seem to fit together well. Those three really nicely.
Oh, I love your version's much better in my opinion, you know. But
very,
then
very
it's,
different. They're different.
yeah,
They're
very
different.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's mind blowing. I hate to say it. I know it shouldn't blow your own trumpet. I think it's amazing somehow. And we actually did it in when we played the warm up gigs at Christmas, you know, in London and in Bath.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to sing the song. It was like us doing one of our famous songs. It's like I went yesterday, and the whole audience sang the whole thing.
Really? Oh, very
It
cool.
was so, and that was our audience. You know, I was like, wow. I said I'll have to join the queue. It sounds a lot easier work at my gig.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. That was great. Yeah.
Um, what was I going to say here? Young Girl. That's Young
Yes.
Girl's the only song I can say you sounded like someone to me. Okay. You
Oh,
know, you
okay.
sounded like on Young Girl, Al Stewart. You know,
Who?
Time
Al Stewart.
Passages. Yeah, a little bit like
Oh
Al
yeah, I love
Stewart.
Aston.
Yeah,
What was his big
time
song? On
passages.
Time. Oh wow, okay, interesting. I do like his what was his big song? Time Passages is
Time
one. What he had
passages.
another
Yeah.
one. What was
Um,
the what?
3 or 4 big hits.
The Year of the Cat. That's
The
his
Year of
big
the
song.
Cat. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
all right. Okay, I've never
Yeah,
heard that before. But that's
yeah.
a compliment. That's a great. He's a great artist. You know, that's a
Hmm.
great song.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Great guitar. I actually met someone in New York once who was married to the guitar player who did the electric guitar solo on Year of the Cat, which is a really good solo.
Yes.
And I think he committed suicide or something.
Oh wow.
And she said to me, "Oh," I said, "I'm so sorry to hear that." And she said to me, "Oh, he never grew up. He was just a baby, you know."
Mm,
I said, "Well, that's most musicians, really.
I know.
Most of our babies, you know." You know,
Another
children.
sad, another sad case was Jerry Rafferty. He was such a great
Oh
talent.
yeah,
Yeah,
what a talent.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
Outro,
shame.
man. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
them.
exactly.
But musically, yeah, the irony of him, of course, he had perfect pitch, and his
Hmm.
music was, and yet the sax solo on Baker Street is
Oh, what a song, huh?
slightly flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy who played it says, "Well, I'm slightly out of tune, but it sounds amazing." Nicely out of tune is
Nicely out
what
of tune. Yeah,
it
sometimes
is.
that
I
works.
think it's a North, a Geordie saying up in North, they say nicely out of tune,
Yeah,
which works, I think.
yeah, exactly. Um, talk about this tune. You can't hurt me anymore. Talk about that one. I love that song.
Well, so when I wrote that in a period when I was in New York, I wrote a few songs together, and that was one of them.
Hmm.
And I thought that was the best song. This is the best song I've ever written. Excuse me, but when I played it to people, no one seemed to blink.
Really?
I thought, yeah, but I played it to my girlfriend in New York. She started crying, so I thought, oh well, that's a
Huh.
good sign. But yeah, I think it's a very beautiful song. I just I love. I do always do it live. Ever since I've written, I've always done it live. My solo sets,
Right.
and we've started doing it live with the band. A couple of times we've done it, and yeah, it's again, people. I just did it. It's a difficult song to do. I didn't listen to it, just did it, and then the response to it has been amazing. I get one of those songs, people saying they just love the way the release that comes back in. But I haven't listened to it for ages. I'll have to have a listen again because I've had it in my back pocket for a long time, that song.
Hmm.
So to finally do it, I was like, oh, I don't know, because everyone's pushing me to do it.
Yeah.
Same with Young Girl. I didn't really want to do Young Girl because I think, oh, people think I'm singing about some young girl, which I'm not.
Today
So
you got to be careful.
you got to be careful. But no one said anything. I'm singing about my girlfriend who was in like 33, I think she was. But to me, she was a young girl.
You remember? I don't know how old you are. I'm 65, so I remember the 60s very like it was yesterday.
Yes,
But
exactly. Well,
remember
I'm
"Young Girl"
old.
by Gary Puckett and Union Gap?
Young
Young girl.
girl, get out of
Yeah.
my mind. Blah, blah, blah.
He didn't get in trouble back then, but
He's a
today he
great
does
singer.
get in trouble for that song.
Yeah, a lot of those songs you wouldn't get away with now.
Yeah.
But it's he's a great singer, Gary Puckett.
Yeah.
I love singers. It's called the Anger. It's a great. But also Gilbert Sullivan with Claire.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen some really nasty things written about him, and he's such a sweet person, Gilbert Sullivan.
Right.
He's just singing about his manager's daughter, his babysitting.
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
and when that record came out, no one remotely said anything.
No, they're all innocent, innocent songs.
It's sad days we're in, right? Sad days we're in.
Look at Elvis. He married Priscilla. She was what, 13?
They didn't blink, did they?
Nobody blinked. It's crazy.
Like, hang on. No one even went, hang on.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Jerry Lewis, the same thing. He did,
They banned him from England, didn't they?
married his cousin.
As you do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different standards, I guess, for those guys. Yeah. Well, you end the album with "Another Girl, Another Planet," which is the only ones I think did that song.
Classic song, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best song, yeah, I think.
Fantastic tune, man.
Yeah, me and Peter Rizzo always liked that song. We always and he was a big Only Ones fan. He's a few years younger than me, Pete. So he used to go and watch those bands more than I did, So yeah, I always loved that song. It's a great song. And again, we wanted to approach. We did it originally as the song, 1, 2, 3, 4, off we went, And we just think, it needs a different approach, and we just sort of slowed it down. Again, more for that darker, more melancholic feel to it, Yeah, I was pleased. I think it's very Christmassy sounding, really enough. I don't know why. For me,
Yeah,
it's
it
very
is.
jangly, and something about it, warm fires. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
You guys, the tour is going to be cool. I know it's 1 month. In the old days, you probably would have done 3 or 4 months worldwide.
Well, it's going to be longer than that. We've just announced that's the first half.
You did.
The second half is going to be announced, so it's longer. It's
Is
going to go all May, June through into July. It's going to be a long tour.
Oh, good. You
We've
coming
just
to Florida? Or you don't know? Florida?
We will be. We almost certainly, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, we'll see you when you come down here for sure.
I won't say 100%, but I'm pretty sure we're going a lot. We're doing a lot of gigs. Yeah.
Good. I was a big fan of
the first half, basically.
Good. I was a big fan of The Alarm when they first came out.
Yeah, a lot of energy. They're North Wales. I'm South Wales. So.
South, yeah.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, because obviously I've got to know Mike Peters pretty well, because we've worked together a lot. Because James has worked a lot with Mike Peters. So, and so we've always had a kind of connection because we're both Welsh anyway. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun.
You're also Welsh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
South Wales though. He's North. I'm South.
Okay.
South is cooler.
Where was Tom Jones from? What part of Wales?
South Wales. Shirley Bassey, South Wales.
Okay.
Who else can you think of? Yeah, they're all from South Wales. What's the actress married to Kirk Douglas?
Oh yeah,
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Right.
Yeah, not Kirk. Michael Douglas. Sorry,
Michael Douglas. Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, she's from my neck of the woods. Richard Burton. What's the other? There's like 3 actors from the same village as my dad grew up in, which is Richard Burton. Who else is it? What's the other great one? Anthony Hopkins and Michael Sheen. They're all from the same area. So,
can you speak the language?
A little, not fluently.
Yeah, it's hard. Isn't it?
I can. Well, it's older than Latin. It's an ancient language,
right?
So it's. But I can pronounce all the words because I'm from there. I can see a sign and I can read it. And my parents spoke it better than I did. But because we're anglicized, unfortunately. Yeah. But I should learn it. I was speaking to a fellow Welsh person yesterday, and she was saying, "Yeah, we should learn it really." But there's not much reason to use it too much,
Yeah, we just lost a good friend from Wales.
Oh,
he just passed away, and we saw Tom Jones recently. He came here to Florida.
Wow. How was he?
He was great. Jones? He was incredible. Oh, wow. His voice is still the same.
Yeah, you shouldn't sing like that, and he still does. It's unbelievable, isn't it? That's the wrong way to sing, to fuck your voice up for one, but you shouldn't. All that air he uses, yeah, he can sing amazing. Frank Sinatra said, "Hey, Tom, don't do that."
Yeah,
he just goes pow. It's unbelievable, really.
His recent album is really good.
But we're all at our age now. We're losing people, aren't we?
Too many. It's very sad, isn't it?
I lost 3 people just before Christmas. I could not believe it.
Really?
Yeah. Two of them club musicians in Wales.
I lost 2 of my best friends. Yeah.
It's cancer is the thing, isn't it? That seems to be taking.
It's what we eat.
Yeah.
It's in the food, I guess.
Sugar. It's a bad
Sugar's
one.
bad.
Alcohol,
Sugar's bad.
Cigarettes.
You look
good.
I
used to smoke 2 packs of Marlboro a day. So.
Really? Did you stop smoking?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Good.
I stopped drinking a long time ago too. I stopped drinking at least 10, 11, 12 years ago, something like that. 30 years, I can't remember. A long time ago.
You look great.
Oh, thank you. Ditto. I feel good. Yeah. I just woke up one day thinking, why am I doing this? And then I went through this process and thinking, don't need this, and I just stopped. And I don't miss it at all, not remotely. I can't tell you the date. You can tell someone who hasn't cured their brain. It's because they mentioned the date they gave up. That means you miss it. That means you haven't disassociated.
That's right.
What it's actually doing to you. You don't understand. Your brain has to get this because it's cultural, isn't it?
Right.
You know, we're taught from a very young age to have a beer or whatever, you know, and
That's right.
that takes some undoing.
Yeah. My
You go
father was
on
a heavy
YouTube.
drinker too. So,
Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, my
yeah.
parents didn't drink at all, you know, very
Yeah.
like
But my dad
Christmas.
lived to 97 though.
There you are. There
Yeah.
you are. Well, as long as he was good to you, yeah, that's all I can say.
Do you have
Alcohol can,
kids? You have children?
yeah. Do I've got a son, yeah, a son,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Grandkids?
I don't talk about it much because I don't want people to get bother him, you know. So do you have kids?
Yes, I have 2 kids and 5 grandkids.
Awesome. Wow, I haven't got
5
any grandchildren.
grandkids.
Awesome.
I,
I'm from a big Catholic family, so I've got tons of nephews and nieces and
yeah,
all
we're
the rest.
Catholic as well. Yeah.
You know the score. Yeah, we have a
Oh
big
yeah. Sure.
family. So,
All
yeah,
right.
so I don't need I got plenty of nephews and nieces, so
Yeah, keep you busy.
yeah.
My
But they're
dad,
great. Yeah.
my dad was an identical twin.
Oh wow.
I have a granddaughter that's identical twins.
You know I'm identical twin as
I
well, right?
know. I was going to ask you
Yeah.
about that. How are you and your brother doing?
Oh, it's not good, I'm afraid, man. No, not
Because
good.
I had the same situation. I didn't talk to my brother for
Mm.
years, and
Yeah,
we got
well,
into
it's all to do with, you know, if my band, for instance, Pete and James and people I know around my band, Chris Bell, everybody,
right.
if we fall out, you know, we're rational people and we can say, hey,
Yeah.
sorry, I was an asshole, but so were you, and we can get on and move
Right.
on. But if you're dealing with someone who's irrational, then you can't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been, you know, there's no way back for us really. You know, it's impossible. I mean, the fact you asked to introduce me as J. Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel, everywhere else in the world I'm just Gene Loves Jezebel, that says it all really, doesn't it? So I mean, it's like there's something wrong here, you know, the equation. So, but that's, you know, none of it matters really in the end. It's not that important, but you know, it's for the fans, it's a bit strange when they hear Desire or any of those songs, and then you go to see this band, and there's no one in that band that's actually on the record, including my brother. Yeah. So it's a weird one.
I talk with Dave Davies about his little feud with Ray.
Oh yeah, well, he's great, Dave, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cool.
Considering what he's been through, I mean, that guy was a cool guy, you know, man.
Yeah,
he's changed. He changed music a lot for one, but the era he came up with those bands, they were playing ballrooms and stuff back in the 60s because there was no gig circuit, you know, and he's seen it all. And I think he had male and female lovers, didn't he?
Yes,
and all that kind of. He's very, very colored background and very open-minded.
Yep.
I
don't think Ray liked that. I think that's one thing that caused a feud. You know, he came out gay, I guess, Dave, and then.
I think Dave was a very free spirit.
Right.
And I think Ray was very probably uptight. I think we can say that to some degree. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean it must have been difficult for Ray to watch his brother be so free, and because he wasn't or isn't, you know. But you know, what can you say? The Ray Davis. You guys say Davies is an American thing.
I know.
It's actually Davis, but they just couldn't be bothered correcting people anymore. They just let people call him Davies. But he came from a big family, aren't they? There's 5 sisters or something of those guys. But I mean, Ray Davis, man, what a writer! I mean, incredible songwriter. That guy, unbelievable. Yeah, I'm a huge Kinks fan.
Definitely. His solo albums are great too. I really liked them.
I haven't really checked in his solo stuff.
Good.
I should. Yeah. I need to.
Yeah, he's in my book. I got a book called The Rockstar Chronicles, and I've
got
like 45 interviews in there, and Dave's in there.
I'll have to have a look. Definitely.
Yeah. I'll send you the links. I'll send you a ebook version. Yeah, so you can read it.
Awesome. Yeah,
I got a lot of guys that have passed now. You know.
Yeah.
So, Johnny Winter and all of the guys from Everest, Lake and Palmer, Greg Lake, Keith Emerson.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes, that 2 of them. Greg Lake's totally underrated, you know. What a great singer. Well, obviously a great guitar player.
Yeah.
You know, but a great singer too.
Great voice. Is it true you almost gave up the music business and then there was a Rolling Stones tribute? That's how you got back into music again?
Oh yeah, well, I became very cynical, because of
Right.
what happened with my brother and things, and what's the value of music if people can't tell the difference? And with promoters, they just book, if they could use the name, they just book any band, and they didn't care about the product. So I got pretty cynical. I smoked too much, probably drank too much, and then a friend of mine just happened out of the blue, a guy called Jean-Marc Lieberman. Just called me out of the blue saying, "Oh, Jay, I want to do some covers." And he comes from more like Front 242, Depeche Mode. He's from Mute Records, that kind of electronic side of things more than I am. I'm much more organic guitars, just a voice guitar. And he just happened to pick, Mick Taylor, Rolling Stones song, Moonlight Mile, which is one of my favorite songs. And if he'd gone for any other song, I wouldn't have said, I probably said no, but I said, "Oh, I love that song." And so he sent me the music and I sang it and people just loved it. And that kind of got me, okay, I am a singer after all, I should sing. And so I just threw the cigarettes away, stopped drinking wine and started singing again. So, and because it's in the end, my brother once said to me, "Oh, that's not all you are, Jay, just a singer."
Right.
And then this guy steals my identity, basically. He goes out there pretending to sing Desire and all those songs. I mean, you've stolen my identity. It's not all who I am, but it is an important part of what I do. He's singing, and it's very important to me.
Yeah.
So I just took it back, really, took what's mine. And I'm the kind of person, I don't care if I'm playing to 20,000 or 2 people in a room. I just don't care. Like, I could play for you now quite happily, and I'd be joyful about it, because I'm in my little space, my element. And none of it really matters anyway. But that was the moment I kind of went, oh. And my peers were all loved it. They all wanted to play on it and all the rest of it, They just loved it so much. And I was like, oh, okay. Start singing again. So I did. And then I worked so much harder on my guitar than I used. Because you learn from a very young age. You don't have to learn much guitar to write songs. Bob Dylan, Bowie, all these people, they're not great guitar players.
That's right.
And you just need to know the 1 and the 5, or 1, 4, 5, or the 1,
Yeah. And
you can write songs. And but since the last 5-10 years, I've worked much harder on my difficult chords. But that's the great thing about a band. I used to play a song to James, like Desire and those, and he would go, "Oh, I put that chord in there, put that chord." And now I do a lot of that myself. Which is good, but you don't have to write a song. I learned very, very early on that they all look to me. Where's the song, Jay? From the very beginning. Then I was, they need me more than I can pick up a lot of guitar players, It took a while to get to James, someone as good as him, and Pete Rizzo, where the chemistry was like that.
Yeah, that's great.
But I've worked lots of different people, and you get something different. That's all, which is nice too. Yeah. Just step in a room with anyone, start playing, and something comes out. Like picking up, as you know, you pick up a Telecaster or you pick up a Strat. You write different songs with each guitar is different, and they bring something out in you. I don't know what it is. You play differently. You play Les Paul. You play very differently if you're playing an acoustic guitar or whatever, Rickenbacker, or whatever you have guitars in your hand. I think Jack White's right when he said there's every guitar has a song in it. I think he's very spot on. Very true.
Do you play piano as well, or no?
Not really. I mean, I know the chords. Yeah, I have done on Gorgeous, one of the early songs. I'd be stuck in the studio waiting for everyone to turn up, and there'd be a keyboard there, and I'd write a song there and then, But once you know formulas of music, the basic theory, you can
do anything.
Play anything. So it's all the best music lesson in life is given to you very young. If your mum took you to see The Sound of Music, or you know that do a dear, do re mi fa sol la ti do, that's the basis of Western music.
I agree.
That's everything you need to know is in that.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you get that, it's like,
yeah.
And it's very hard. I mean, people to sing flat, they say, well, most people can't help but sing in tune. It's quite hard to actually try and sing flat, On occasion, there are people that obviously are tone deaf, but not many. Yeah. Most people have a voice in there if they look for it.
But you got a great voice. You really know somebody has a good voice when you can just sing without all the gimmicks. No auto
Oh, yeah.
tune.
Yeah. Well,
Without a microphone.
Yeah. I used to smoke heavily, as I told you, and I wake up in the morning. My girlfriend, she'd wake up and she'd just go, "No," start singing, and I'd be like, "Oh, I need a cup of coffee."
It's funny.
And I was so envious of that, and I'd be like, and so I've achieved that now. So I do wake up and I sing, So, but it's a marvelous thing, singing. It really is. It's because you don't have to learn anything to sing. You can just open your mouth and go. I've taught people how to sing, because I had to reteach myself how to sing because I lost my voice because I abused it, So I had to retrain myself to sing. And I used to say to people, "You want to sing? Well, the first thing you got to do is breathe, take all the air out of your body, just every last breath, now sing." And they're shocked. You don't need much air to sing. Because most people, they think singing, they think they got to be like Robert Plant, they got to go and scream, and it's not, because it's vibrating. You can use much air. It's an elastic limit. There's only so much it's going to vibrate. You can push it as hard as you like. It's not going to go any faster. So just learn. I mean, all those guys that sing in the musicals in the West End or in Broadway, they're doing 2 or 3 shows a day. They can't just blow their voices. They're going, "Ah!"
Yeah.
They learn to use the air, and it's controlled. And it's like surfing, just riding that wave. You shouldn't be pushing it. And the hard thing is when you go on stage and an audience in front of you. That's when your voice goes, tension, can dry up, and that's the thing you have to conquer. Don't look at the audience and just sing.
I just sort of have to have a little bit of gift, and you're born with a little bit of gift to sing.
Well,
because I can't sing. I try and I can't sing.
No, you could. Well, it depends what you're aiming at.
Yeah.
You have to find your voice. If your voice is not Steve Marriott's voice,
that's true.
Neither is mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do a lot of people's voices because I know how it works much more these days. But the key is, if you could do like Leonard, "Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Hey honey." There's no effort in that. You could probably do that. But there's a gift to it, and it's not pushing it too much is the key. And to let the vibrato come naturally is less air. If you want to sing, you have to learn. Peter Rizzo couldn't sing at all. When my brother left the band, I still needed someone to do backing vocal, just to hold the root note or whatever.
Yeah.
And he couldn't sing at all, and I had to teach him with the lesson I just said earlier on about breathing. And I showed him how to do it. Then one day he posted a video of a song we'd been working on, and we'd agreed never to post anything we hadn't agreed on, but he'd done it without asking me. But I said to him, "I don't remember doing that backing vocal." And he'd done a vocal I thought was me. So from a guy that couldn't sing at all, he suddenly could sing.
Yeah.
And I could probably teach you to sing. I can hear in your voice already. You're singing, The fact, if you're mad at somebody, go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
You ever do that? That's singing.
Yeah.
Your voice goes up.
Yeah.
I think the Welsh, as we speak, we tend to go up and down a lot. "Oh, how are you?" Well. That's the Irish do. No, top of the morning to you. They go up and down a lot.
Yeah.
And different, and American accent is quite similar. I know the accent varies across the US, but there's definitely a lot of Irish in there somewhere.
Yeah, accents in England are very different.
Massively in the UK, absolutely.
Yeah.
A different town, a Cardiff accent is very different to a Swansea accent in Wales, isn't it?
Yeah.
And probably the same where you are, right? A town 10 miles away that'll have a different accent to your town.
Yeah.
And exactly. You'll know Jacksonville's very southern, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, which there's no accent.
No, it's very fancy Tampa Bay, isn't it?
Well, we get a lot of people from Michigan and Buffalo and all over the place. A lot of Brits here. There's a lot of Brits here.
It's a nice place to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why Tampa Bay is nice.
Yeah. It is nice.
They won the Super Bowl once as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Several years ago, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. What do you do when you're not making music? Do you have a hobby?
Well, music takes up most of my most of my time. That's why I got a guitar with me now. I just can't. I just like to play all the time. But most of my most joy I get is through hiking. I walk a lot. I
Oh,
walk.
good.
If
That's
I
why
try
you're
to
in great
walk,
shape. Yeah.
I try to walk about 15 miles most days. 20
Whoa,
miles.
that's a lot.
It's nothing to it really, but it's like yoga for me. I just love it. So much happens in a day when you walk. You know? You see so much, and that could be urban walking, wasteland walking, countryside, wherever. I'm happy walking everywhere really. I just want to just dance sometimes because I love being outside so much. It's so beautiful. But some people I walk with, when I first walk with them, they go, "Oh, I hate walking, man." But once, if you go for a couple of miles, 70, 20 minutes, whatever, then they start to get in the stride. They start realizing how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
The Motley Hoople bass player famously hated walking. But then one day he had to walk for some reason. Something happened, and he wrote 2 books on why he loved walking.
Huh.
And amazing. And there was a strike in London. I can't remember what for. And there was someone lived in Hammersmith, and they had to walk all the way to the city every day to work. And when the strike ended, they carried on walking. They never ever caught the underground again. Huh. They didn't get on the train again. They just walked. It is amazing because by the time you get into work, your brain's function. Everything's, you know, you don't need caffeine to get you rolling. You just, everything's in motion. And life is short, and you know, if you've got time to walk, it's your time. You know, or if you with a loved one or a friend, it's great to walk with them too. But walking alone is that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a physical, and my doctor says walk, even if it's 20 minutes a day.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to get into. You'd be surprised. You're thinking, "Oh, I don't want to do this," but it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
And if you got a dog that likes walking,
exactly,
you're away. You know, because they will love you even more. Not that they don't love you enough already, but they are so the joy they feel when they're out is unbelievable, pure joy.
I was going to ask about Wales. Doesn't Robert Plant live in Wales?
Yeah, he moved there. When obviously he made it. He was only 19 when they made it, 1920. You know, he was pretty young, doing his Steve Marriott impression. Peter Grant, I think, wisely made them all didn't have to advise Jimmy Page because Jimmy Page is worldly, wasn't he, from a very young age? But and John Paul Jones.
Right.
But Plant had born him, you know, a literal yokels like myself from outside London. And he said, "No, you got to buy property." And he moved to Wales, and up until recently he lived there. I think he's moved back to where he's from.
Oh, has he? Yeah.
I think he's older, isn't he? So he's probably, you're drawn back. Like I'm drawn back to Wales as I get older, you know. So
right.
Yeah, it's where you're from, isn't it? It matters a lot. It matters a lot.
It's a beautiful country. It really is.
I think so. I'm from there, but you know, I'm biased. But I just think it's for walking. There's nothing you're never too far away from the next cafe or pub if you're walking in Wales, you know. Whereas if you're walking somewhere as beautiful as Scotland or Montana, you might not see a town for a long time.
That's right.
Which has its own beauty, but I like I like the hills. Where I was brought up, there's a lake within 10 minutes walking. I can be by the ocean in half an hour walking.
Really?
And I can be in the mountains. I can be in the mountains in half an hour walking. And it's so it's beautiful for me. Everything's close to me. I can see all these and the forests and woods all close to me. Incredible. And you're close to big cities as well. You're 10, 20 minutes from big cities too. So it's ideal.
Very nice. I got to come visit, man. I don't get out.
Yeah, you should.
I don't get out enough. That's what happens when you're a writer, you know.
Yeah, you write a lot. Yeah.
I'm writing another book right now too, and then it just takes up so much of your time and your life, you know.
I started writing. Some publisher asked me to do like a my life story kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did the first chapter. It took me ages to do, and it's like writing the song, but it's a lot more work. Because as you know, you can tell me obviously much more. You have to keep pushing things around, like moving them around to put them in context. And when it comes together, it's beautiful. People love that first chapter, and that's where I get to day one of the band, basically, but all the stuff in Wales. And I thought, oh no, it'll take too long. It just takes so long.
It does take a while.
Oh, writing a song, I can write a verse of a song and come back 10 years later and write a chorus. But with a book, you just got to dive in, haven't you? I've only done one chapter, and I was like, oh. It's wonderful when it all comes together. It's the same feeling you get with the song. It's like, oh,
it's a flow.
Flows.
You know,
it's a flow.
It's got a flow. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's one of those things you can just tell, can't you, when it is flowing and when it's not flowing. You can just feel it, and you just keep going back to it. And I'm speaking like I really know what I'm talking about. I've only ever written one chapter, but my experience was definitely this takes a lot of time and energy. Yeah, a lot.
Do you have notes? Do you have a lot of notes, or?
I've always kept journals. I've kept diaries since I was
That's important.
16, 15, something like that. You know, someone stole some of my journals once, started publishing them, but I'm a mad fan. But that stuff. But yeah, it is. You look back, and they're very useful, aren't they? When you look back.
They are.
Because you'll forget what happened yesterday or even this morning. Let alone something that happened 10 years ago. You know?
I can remember 20, 30 years ago, but if you ask me something that happened this week, no.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need a ghostwriter, let me know.
Oh, I will. Yeah,
I have fun with it. I love to write.
If some publisher offers me a fortune, I will.
There you go.
Employ you now. Yeah.
There
that's
you go.
A good idea. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I love to write. Some people don't like to write. You know, it's kind of
it's a very creative act, isn't it?
It is.
You have to have a talent for it.
Yeah.
So if you have a talent for it, then nothing's going to stop you because you have to do it. Music's the same as that. You have to do it.
Well, this is going to be my fourth book. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Awesome.
Actually, the Rock Star Chronicles, that's went over a period of 10 years because, you know, you can't just get interviews like boom, 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 boom. You know?
No. Sporadic. Yeah.
It's very sporadic.
Oh, brilliant.
It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a good question for you. This is your... I ask everybody this question. I get some very interesting answers, okay?
Oh.
If you had a Field of Dreams wish, that's my favorite movie, Field of Dreams, to perform...
That's the baseball movie, right?
The baseball movie.
Right.
To perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Oh, Dylan, wouldn't it? Bob Dylan.
Dylan. Okay.
Because he's like a writer like yourself, you know. He creates songs. He goes. I mean, I'll write a song and that's the song. You know, I'll speak it as it comes. He's well read. You know, the fact his name is the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas. The fact he used that name, you know, and how many people are called Dylan because of that, you know. It's amazing to think of it. So he's erudite, thorough, and also has a great sense of melody as well. I mean, there's so many great melodies. That's, you know, it's so we all speak English and we can appreciate how brilliant he is with language.
Right.
But if you don't speak English, you know, you've got all these melodies coming across. Songs do.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone like him would be awesome. You might Bob Dylan be there. I go, Bob, I got this. Hey, what do you say? And then he'd go, man, no, you need to do this. Yeah, I'd love that. Don't say yellow, say bellow. You know, something like that would be. He would be ideal for me because we could both have acoustic guitars.
Yep.
If it would have been someone like Bowie, I think it would have been like, you're doing all the work. You know, and he would put a lovely melody on top, maybe, but I got a feeling.
Right.
Dylan would be, or Ray Davis, one of those, what else to tell, one of those songwriter guys, you know.
Yeah.
They get my vote, but Dylan would be the king, you know. Because you don't know where he's going to go. You don't know where he's going to go.
True.
Lots of I'm not going to mention other artists because I think I'm slagging them off, but they just do their thing, you know, their one thing, their one trick they do, which they do really well, a lot of them. But Dylan, you can never write him off. He's always got another classic up his sleeve, you know. Most artists they do one great album, maybe two, and then they're over. But even the good ones, you know, but he's amazing, how he can still come up with a song. You go, where the fuck did he get that from?
Yeah.
Which I mean, I'm a big Neil Young fan, but I haven't heard a Neil Young song for a while that I've gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he hasn't done it for me for a while, and I love Neil Young, but Dylan still surprises me when he comes some of his songs. I go, wow. So yeah, he's the one. He would get my vote.
He's on tour again, Dylan.
He's always touring. We
Yeah.
played with him once. You know, it was we played with him at Buffalo, New York. You know,
Really?
We did a festival. Yeah, yeah, it was us and a few other bands. I think it was Delasaur. Who else was it? What's it? Stand Off for? What's that band? Stand Off for? What's that band? The name now, they're going to kill me. I know them as well. But anyway, there was and he was supposed to go on last, headlining, of course, and we were on before him.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't personally ask us. He was sitting right there with his hood down. I didn't speak to him because I figured he didn't want to be spoken to, so I just left him alone. But his manager said, "Oh, Bob has to go to another gig." Well, right. I can't remember, North, South, Canada, wherever he's going.
Right.
Is it okay if he goes on before you so he can drive off to the next gig?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we said sure. So Bob Dylan opened for Gina's Jezebel.
Very cool. Very cool. I like that.
But he did it was one of those sets. It was the endless, which he's still on, I guess. It was called the Never Ending Tour or something. It was called something like that. And it was all, you could not tell what song he was singing. It was like, and I was like, okay. Yeah.
So you can put that in your book. You can put that in your book about
did see him in New York.
Headlining for Bob Dylan.
yeah, I did. I should. I did see him in New York. A friend of mine bought me a ticket to see him at a nice theater in New York, and he didn't even play guitar that night. I don't know if something wrong with his hands or something, but he just stood up and sang.
Oh.
And it was the usual thing, but for some reason he went into one song and he went back to, oh, here's Bob, Bob's back, and he did his hey you, all that kind of stuff. You kind of went, oh, that's Bob's back, but it was only for short space there. But his fans, as you know, they're so diehard. Whatever he does, they think it's like Moses from the mountain coming down to him, you know.
Yeah, it's like the Grateful Dead. You know, their fans are like that. The Deadheads. Yeah.
I'm a singer, so I don't really quite get. I like some of their stuff, but they ain't singers. You know what I mean?
No, I never got the Dead. I saw them in concert, and they played and played and played. I think they played for 5 hours. You know?
Yeah. I guess your head's got to be in that space to get
right.
You either music. I always say to people, don't get worried too much about music. You don't have a choice anyway. You either like it or you don't. You know?
Exactly.
There's no science behind it. You can appreciate why someone's clever, etc. But in the end, you will like something really cheesy and be embarrassed by it as something that's very sophisticated.
That's right.
The critics would have you believe that there were 20 albums made and that's the only albums you'll all buy.
Yeah, I know.
And there's millions of odd songs and odd pieces. We all love the people you'll know people I've never heard of and vice versa. And maybe when they're dead, people suddenly go, "Oh yes, they were great," but no one said it when they were alive.
That's right.
So
shame, isn't it?
So
I interview a lot of guys. I interview a lot of prog bands from all over the world because I'm a big prog fan because they're musicians. They're
absolutely. Just talking about Steve Hackett today to somebody. We did.
Yeah, I've interviewed Steve a couple of times.
Yeah. He's great.
A good guy. Really good guy. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I used to live in Pimlico. He's from Pimlico in London.
Oh yeah.
So I find that fascinating. That he's from, because the rest of Genesis are all kind of upper class rich kids. Yeah. I don't know, but they're from very upper class families.
Right.
And he was actually just from Pimlico, which is just a little area of my original bass player. Is from Pimlico, so I know the area, and I lived there for a while, which I love Pimlico. So he's, I don't know, really. I mean, you spoke to him. Did he say anything about being in Genesis? They never thanked him or said you were great or that was great, because they don't, that. And he said much years later they did say, "Oh, you were awesome, man." And he did. I think he said, "Oh, I wish you told me that back in 1972 or whatever it was." Because we need it, us working class boys.
Well, he's done such a great job with Genesis Revisited.
I've heard. Yeah,
Ned Sylvan, the singer, who's a great singer. He's a really good singer in the band. I've interviewed Ned as well.
You'd have to be. Yeah, Gabriel at his peak was phenomenal. Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm so glad he's doing this because Peter Gabriel doesn't sing any Genesis tunes, and I don't understand that.
Peter Gabriel's voice is not like that. Can't do that. I don't think he can anymore. I mean,
Really? You think so?
I don't think so. But can you tell me when? It's the hard stuff to sing.
Right.
It's real.
Right.
It's all up and down, and I don't know. Peter's gone much more much more to that.
Yeah.
Genesis was much more
whimsical,
up and down the scales.
Yeah.
So it's like Elton John. Elton John's like, I did a great album, no one likes it. You've got to be able to sing up and down. If you're being Elton John, his greatness was going up and down those, finding the melodies up and down the scales. If you're just stuck in this one register in the middle, it's not going to work, Just not. No matter how good the song is, we can't hear the song.
Yeah.
If we can't hear Rocket Man.
Yeah.
If we can't hear that, if it's going to be Rocket Man, we can't hear it. You know what I mean?
Then you sound like Lou Reed.
But whereas Bowie could sing until the end, he was still a good singer.
Oh, he was a good singer. Yeah.
Apart from Life on Mars, we played with him a couple of gigs, and he was doing his best of set kind of. This was in the early 90s or late 80s, I can't remember. And he was going, it's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair. And they asked you to focus on sailors. He didn't hit the note, I thought, you should go to a vocal coach, Dave, Sailors. That's what I have to do, But he's got he had a great, Bowie's strength was his melody, his sense of melody. It's real. But he was good. At the end, he got good again, didn't he, Bowie?
He did, didn't he?
He went through a bad period.
Black Star was a good album. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he's not around anymore, It's
he smoked like 100 cigarettes a day, didn't he? He did half of Colombia and cocaine. Ooh. He drank like a fish. It's amazing he lasted as long as he did, really.
Yeah. Huh.
He really abused his body.
How come Keith is still around?
Well, Keith is arthritic, and he's got plenty of problems, Keith's got a nice voice, really.
It's not bad. You're right.
What's the point of alcohol and drugs if you can't see anything,
Yeah.
You can't enjoy it. You're not really here. You're not here with any of that stuff. It's not helping your creativity. You're not here at all,
Yeah.
You can't see. What's the point?
That's true.
That's my opinion. I think he probably enjoys it more now where he doesn't drink and smoke and do cocaine. That's why they still do it, because it's such a high,
Yeah.
They're traveling and people love them and they go out and play all those great songs, and that's bigger than anything,
Yeah.
I think that's why we do it.
Jay, what was the first concert you ever went to?
First proper concert. I'm trying to think. I'll have to check my diary. It was either Queen or Bebop Deluxe or something like that.
Yeah.
Way back when I'm your age, so way back then, before they were big, got their first album, saw them in Swansea, Doctors of Madness, Budgie, local Welsh band, I saw them. First concert, though, I think for some reason there was a youth club where I'm from, and bands used to play there. Some quite well-known bands. Like you wouldn't have heard of Shakin' Stevens, but he was very popular.
I know Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah, he was in a band called the Sunsets, and he used to play our youth club. And Budgie used to play the youth. So when I was about 14, we'd see these. They were proper bands, but it was in a youth club little setting, So I can't separate that from. But the first album I bought was Led Zeppelin 2, for instance. That's the first album I ever bought. Shows you where I come from, but I can't remember. What's the first band you saw?
I actually saw Jose Feliciano and Curtis Mayfield.
Oh wow, that's
1971, I think it was.
Well, both at the peak there. People laughed at Jose Feliciano for the sing thing he just did because he's older and his touch is gone.
Right.
But he's formidable. What a talent, that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fucking talent. And obviously Mayfield, stylish man as well, apart from great, what a snappy dresser. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very cool guy. But yeah, that's awesome. You got good taste. Yeah. Excellent. That was on the same bill.
Same bill. Curtis Mayfield opened up, and it was before Superfly. before he
Wow.
put us right around the same time he was putting out Superfly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Second concert was Santana, I think.
Oh, and again, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. That's music, man. That's all real music. You know what I mean? That's
I've
real
seen
music
everybody.
right
I saw Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. I mean, you name it. I've seen everybody. And
I've seen all of them as well. Zeppelin,
Yeah.
I waited a long time to see. I just wish I'd seen them before 1973 because that's when they were.
right.
They were
Right.
72 was their last good year.
Yep. I think
you
you're
can
right.
Listen to Led Zeppelin. You can listen to Led Zeppelin up to 72, and that's the band you love.
Yep.
73 on, it's like, who's that singing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's very sloppy, and that's, it's for 3 years there, 69, 70, 71, well, 4 years, they were the best band in the world.
You know what I didn't like about Zeppelin, what they did in concert? They dragged a song on, which they shouldn't have, and then you'd hear Robert Plant go, would go, for like 20 minutes, just do the song and go to the next song.
Yeah. And just the pentatonic scale for a blues for half an hour. When me and my brother went to see them in London in 75, when we were just about old enough to go and see bands around that time.
I saw that tour.
Yeah, and I got bored. The drum solo it was just boring.
Yeah.
So
the Brits laugh at us for putting Zeppelin on a pedestal in America, because a lot of Brits don't see it Zeppelin like we do. I've heard that a lot of times.
I think originally. I mean, the thing is, but like Fleetwood Mac, really. I mean, America got them first. You know what I mean? Don't forget Stevie Nicks, that Fleetwood version of Fleetwood Mac. They had to go to America to make it, really.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get arrested in England. So Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, obviously massive in England.
That was the Fleetwood Mac I like, with Peter Green.
Oh, with Peter Green, man. Fucking hell.
That was Fleetwood Mac.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But Zeppelin had to go to America and then come back. You know what I mean? They couldn't get arrested in England.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, from my generation, our age, we loved Zeppelin. They were so mysterious. The press might not be reporting it. It's a bit like the press reporting on what's happening in the Middle East now. They're not reporting it. They don't get it a lot of them.
No,
we know what's going on, but we were like that with Zeppelin. I didn't know what they looked like. I just loved it. I put on Whole Lotta Love and went, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's like you went, fucking hell, so powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just immediately you were hooked. It was like, I mean, I'm a big Beach Boys fan prior to that. It would have been
me
Good
too.
Vibrations, and all those songs would have been. I like Purity of Voice, So Zeppelin were completely opposite to all of that. But I was huge. I think one of the reasons punk happened is because Zeppelin they toured just before punk broke in England, and I think people like the Sex Pistols and all that generation, the Clash, they probably went to see them thinking, fucking hell, man, a 30-minute guitar solo, please. What's going on? And it was noticed, that Dr. Feelgood, by the same token, came along and there was 2-minute songs. And brilliant,
Exactly.
So refreshing. They cut all the hair off, and it was just so refreshing, So yeah, I mean, I loved Zeppelin up till Houses of the Holy when that came out.
That was a good album. I liked it.
It's a good album, but you can hear the very speed on the vocals. His vocals gone. We didn't think my friends and I in school were like, it's not Robert Plant singing, because we didn't recognize the voice. It sounds nothing like he sounded like.
I like the Rain song. That's a good song. The Rain song.
I like the guitar. I don't think I don't think it's really a song personally.
Yeah.
I mean, if you give me that music, I'd write you a better song.
Right.
That's what I think. I think, how can the person that wrote the lyrics to Stay Out of Heaven written that? Listen to Jamaica. I mean, oh babe, I love you so, please don't go, go, go. That it's just awful lyrics.
The lyrics are
how
terrible.
Could that person written?
I've said that before. I said that.
Did they have a ghost writer in? Did someone ghost? Because it doesn't add up.
100% on that.
It does not add up.
Yeah.
It's like someone else wrote it and they just took the credit for it almost. Because it's like.
Well, they took a lot of credit for a lot of things in the
I
early days.
Jimmy Plagiarist, I call him.
Yeah, there you were.
They
ripped
stole a lot.
off the Small Faces, who were very underrated. The Small Faces.
Oh, different league.
Whole Lot of
absolutely.
Love was the Small Faces. They took that
It's
song.
shocking. He's lit. I mean, and he's never admitted it either. And it's
Yeah.
just the evidence is like, here's the recording. Here's what you
Exactly.
copied. It's exactly the same.
Exactly
And you can
right.
say that loads of it. And Jimmy Page is still. Jimmy Page is a great guitar player, especially in the studio. But man, some of these things are just dazed and confused. It's just no, even down to the or the little touches. He's nicked all those little things that we think is the Jimmy Pages, and they're not. He's stolen them.
Not at all. Yeah. Steve, like you said, Steve Marriott, man. He was one of my favorites. I love Steve Marriott.
Oh, just
Small Faces, Humble Pie. I saw Steve with an all-star band. He was touring up with his all-star band. He was great.
Do you know the funny thing with Steve Marriott? Because obviously you've seen Zeppelin. I saw Zeppelin. And I have no desire to see Zeppelin again after seeing them personally.
Yeah, right.
And I was huge. They were my favorite band as a kid, you know. And I saw Steve Marriott in a band called Packet of Three, and he joked about himself, I'm short and fat and bald. But man, as soon as he opened that mouth of his and started singing, I mean, I don't care what people look like. Zeppelin think this is their image. I didn't even know what they looked like when I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Janis Joplin. She's responsible for so many people singing rock and roll like they do. And I don't care how she looks. I just love her voice, you know? I don't care how good your hair is or it's music for me anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Steve Marriott just... And I remember meeting Terry Reid once in LA. My girlfriend at the time, musician, was going to get up with some people in Santa Monica and some bar there, and because I used to have a night on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and they'd all get up, someone from the Eagles and all that kind of crowd, you know. And I met him, and he was just like drunk, and oh my God, who's this guy, you know? And then he got on stage and sang, and he went, oh fuck, just so powerful, you know. Oh, yeah. Fuck it up, amazing. You know, you want to say to him, put down the fucking whiskey, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Look after yourself. It's not what it's about, you know. Be here, as Harrison said, be here now, you know. It's like, be here now. If you're drinking, and then what are you hiding from, you know? You're trying to find God through alcohol? I don't know.
Well, it's such a crutch for them. They think they can't do it without it, you know?
But it goes on, you know. And people get very ill, and they still drink, and he's thinking, what do you think is actually occurring when you're drinking? That's what I'm not here to judge. People do what they like, but one day, hopefully, you know. I mean, I look back in my life and think, what the hell did I drink and smoke for? What was I thinking? Because we're just young, you know. We're so impressionable. Right. 15, 16, we're so impressionable, you know. And then we don't question it. And then one day you go, what am I doing this for?
Yeah,
that's my take on it anyway. But
yeah, I lost people that I used to party with. You know, they never stopped. They never stopped. I stopped, and they're not around anymore. You know, it's
no, people dropped out to dead 63 or whatever. You don't
sad.
Or less 50s. You know, it's like this. You're not old. You know, you think you're old at 24, and we look back with 24. We think, oh my God, I'm so old.
I know.
And you get your 50s and 60s, you go, yeah, I'm not old. I still feel the same. I was talking to a friend of mine today. I haven't seen since a friend of mine visiting from New York, and we're just out walking today. And it's been 40 years since we've been hanging out. Yeah. And I said to her, I don't feel any different.
No.
So I got an interview. I have to do like a written interview, and they've asked me, and they're obviously big fans. And they say, oh, Jay Promise came out 40 years ago, the first album, you know. And they asked me to write 5 things, adjectives describing, you know, what I felt in 1983 or what 84 to what I feel. And I don't feel any different. You know, my feelings are the same. You know, about life, about art, about everything. You know, I've been burnt a few more times, but it hasn't changed my philosophy. I'm still open-minded, and will always give people the benefit of the doubt with the risk this entails, because it's worth it. You know, so I haven't done that interview yet, but it's one of those kind of very detailed, train spotting kind of interviews, I would call it, where they want to know so much about you, you know.
Right. Yeah. I like the laid back interview. You know,
just see what flows.
To me, it works better. You know.
just chat away.
I don't like to be hard-nosed or anything like that, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, some questions. I'm thinking, what does it matter what my favorite color is? I don't mind talking about the music, but
it's all about the music, you know. You know what I
or
hate?
even politics. I'm very left wing in my politics naturally.
Right.
But you don't have to know my politics. Just if you like my song, just play the song.
Of course not.
You know, if I don't, there's lots of people say I don't like their politics, but I enjoy the music. You know,
right?
I can separate it easily.
There's a lot of interviewers, a lot of journalists. They don't even listen to the music. Like if you have a new album out, you know, they just shoot by the hip. You know, they just kind of wing it. It's stupid. I mean, I'm getting free music. I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to enjoy it. Same thing with a book. If you write a book, I'm going to read it. You know,
and discovering, we all want to discover something, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing like hearing a tune. We go, oh my God, that's great.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed your album.
Inspires you that, you know, it's like Bob Dylan with me. I can be quite jaded sometimes, but I'll put on early Bob Dylan and I'll just go, okay. Where's that D chord again?
Very
cool.
It
just makes you want to go, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah. You know?
Listen, do you know Bob's real name? Let me see if you know.
Robert Zimmerman. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You
are now a journalist.
Yeah, from Minnesota, baby.
Yeah, Minnesota. That's right.
Duluth, I believe. Is it Duluth? Somewhere like that.
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think I'm right. Yeah. I know quite a bit about him. No, I'm not to the degree where I know his, you know, what day he was born and all the rest of it. But I know quite a bit because I'm interested in his music. You know.
Yep.
I was blown away by the Scorsese thing that came out, which he'd done in the 70s. You know. Did you ever see that? What was it called? He'd film in like around about the time of Desire and all those records, 74, 75. But it only just came out about 2 or 3 years ago.
I saw one where he was with John Lennon. Him and John Lennon.
Oh well, that's
documentary.
60s. That's Don't Look Back, which is great.
Yeah.
No, it's a recent one. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's with him in mid-70s, about 74, and he is fucking awesome. He is Joni Mitchell's in it, you know. There's loads of people in it, and Patti Smith gets up in it, you know. And I like Patti Smith, but she's nothing compared to him. Nothing. A dilettante, you know, nothing compared to him. She is so fortunate that film did not come out in 1975 because you would have gone, she's nothing. Honestly,
I'll be honest with you. I never got Patti Smith, and she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't get that.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, I think the first album. A lot of musicians, it's like when you're young, you just want to make it, and when you hear someone just going a few chords, and she has a powerful voice. The thing is, her trick is she has too much, for me, Catholicism, too much religion in it.
Yeah,
she's always throwing all those. It's easy to do that. And Lucifer came down and he saw you on the breast, baby, the breast. I saw him. She does a lot of that, you know.
Yeah.
And it becomes a pastiche, really, in the end.
Yeah.
Whereas with Dylan, you don't know where he's going to go, you know.
Right.
You don't know where Dylan's going to go, you know. And you're thinking, why couldn't I write a song? I mean, Knocking on Heaven's Door, okay, simple song. You try writing it.
Yeah.
You try coming up with a lyric as good as that, you know. It's like that's where genius is to me. That's where you mark a genius, when they can come up with a few chords and write something where you go,
sure.
Because you'll find a million songs with those chords, but not one of them will touch you as deeply or as profoundly as he can when he's lyric. I mean, like a Rolling Stone. Come on, it's just the chords just literally go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah.
You know, just as basic as you can get. You try writing that.
Look what Hendrix did with All Along the Watchtower.
Absolutely, that's the perfect mix, isn't it? Yeah. I often put that song in my favorite song of all time because it captures the both of them. You know,
me too.
I mean, you get it's off. I often put that in my top 10 of all time.
Me too. Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the guitar solo and
just perfect.
And everything about it, you know, is just magical, isn't it? It's a magical song. Yeah,
timeless. It's a timeless song, forever.
It's just perfection.
Yep. Yeah. Jay, what's next? After this album, are you working on some new material or what's going on?
Every day I got songs finishing writing. One of my favorite things to do about the modern age, obviously the music industry has been destroyed because the record companies sold us short to Spotify's of the world and iTunes. They sold us, they killed us.
Yeah.
But one of the beauties of it, the other way around, is I can have this, like I'm on an iPad right now, I can just grab it, sing a song, and I can post it.
It's amazing.
And I love that aspect of it. Just I've got to go through anyone, I can just put it up there.
Right.
So I you know, obviously I'm going to be very busy with the band coming up, but hopefully I can do some solo work, get some songs down. But yeah, I think we're going to have to spring into action with the band pretty much big time soon, because we're going to have to do a lot of rehearsing. There's a lot of songs we have to do, and a lot of songs we haven't done for a long time, so that'll be next. But you know, and I'm looking for somewhere to live too. I was living in LA for ages, so I am now looking to find somewhere in Wales again.
Good.
We'll see. Somewhere small, easy. I don't need much. Just my guitars, really, to be honest.
Right.
And I'm fine.
Awesome. Jay, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today.
It's been a pleasure, right? It's been talking
to you. Fun, man.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say
a lot of common ground.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I want to say special thanks to the great Billy James, Glass Onion PR. I've known Billy now for a very long time. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, Billy, I've just met him online.
Yeah,
he's very on it. He's great.
Yeah. Purchase a new album by Gene Loves Jezebel, featuring Jay Aston.
You won't regret it.
Love, death, sorrow. It's incredible. Best place to buy it? What do you suggest? The website or Amazon or?
I done the US. It's going to be through Cleopatra Records.
Cleopatra Records. Yeah, that's
just have a look where you can see it. I guess you know.
Yeah.
In Europe, it's of course we're all worldwide now, as you know.
Yeah.
It's not. We're doing. You're in Florida, but as you know, this will go everywhere.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, you'll have to search it out, because I don't know where it's released in different territories, you know. So
Cleopatra's universal, I think. Go there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. They do have a reach for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They're great people too.
Yeah.
You can find Jay and Gene Loves Jezebel. You got an official website, genelovesjezebel.com.uk.
Yeah.
Facebook, you're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah.
Hey, the
just
tour
look for
starts
Jay to make sure it's Aston, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Exactly. The tour starts May 1st, I think, in New Orleans.
May 1st. Yeah, May Day.
House of Blues. Yeah. And I'm going to check your website because you got more.
There's more gigs coming.
I'm going to add the gigs.
Coming, definitely. People ask me why you're playing here. We are coming to a lot of places, so
that's great.
Yeah. It's terrifying. I'm like, oh God, what am I going to eat? I'm a vegan, you know, so I'll be struggling. What do I eat?
Just the flight alone is tiring, you know.
And then you got to spring into action straight away. It's but it's fun in the end. We love it.
You're in good shape. You'll be walking around and
I will. You'll see me walking around your town before the show.
Exactly. Hope to see you in Florida. If you do come to Florida, I'll be there.
I hope so. So.
Thank you, Jay, for being on the show, man. You're wonderful. My best to you and the family.
Right back at you. And
if you can, life is too short. Life is too short. Talk to your brother. I did. So
that's the reason I don't talk to him. Life is too short.
Don't talk about business. Just talk about the old days. You know,
too much damage to be done.
Okay. Really. All right, Jay.
I don't think about it. Cheers. Thanks for everything, man.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Love you.
Bye.
Good night. Or good day to you. Good afternoon.
Good day to you too. Cheers.